Today I'm going to start to talk about another command that we can use to create a 3D drawing. Up to this point, we use this extrude command with let us to create a 3D drawing. If you look at it, right next to that, it's a command that's called the Presspull, and then so it's called the Presspull, and that Presspull command also let us to create a 3D command. I'm gonna show you what's the how is going to be the difference between the extrude and Presspull. So um, uh, let me switch this to um, this view. So go there. So assume I'm gonna have one rectangle here. I'm gonna just simply draw a rectangle here. And then I'm gonna draw a rectangle with just or lines. Um, and then close. So I have two rectangles here, and as so one of them is just I draw it with the rectangle command, which is create basically a polylines, and the other one is just 4 lines that I created. Both of them are create a closed area, but one of them, all of the lines are joined together, just one polyline, and the other one is made of 4 separate lines. When in Presspull, if I go ahead and Presspull, for example, the very first one, it creates a solid 3D object like that. At the same time, if I go ahead and do the Presspull with the other one that's next to that, and do the Presspull, instead of creating a uh, uh, solid 3D field object, is going to create something like that. So some walls, or basically it creates 4 shells for us, as you can see here. So each of them is separate. So for when we are using the extrude, is really depends on how is that base drawing that we have, what's gonna create for us. But when it comes to the Presspull, the one that is sitting next to that, and if I click on that, if I click on the Presspull, so it's gonna ask me select the object or area to Presspull. So if I come here and select this one, and you see it's very the same as the extrude up to this one. So click on that and then add the height, and it's going to create uh, uh, the um, the 3D object like that. Now if I go ahead and click on the Presspull again, and this time come here and click on that, it's gonna do the same thing again here. You see, still it's gonna, and then press enter to exit. So it, the main difference between the extrude and Presspull is that the Presspull created 3D solid object from any closed 2D area. For the extrude, those line that create the closed area should be a single object. All of them should be connected together or joined together. For the Presspull, it's not like that. So the Presspull always creates something like that. It's not going to create a shell. Unlike the extrude, that's gonna create the shell for us. And so this is the very main difference that they have, and we usually we use the uh, Presspull to create the 3D. The extrude have some more options. If you remember, when, for example, when we click on the extrude and we select the object, it gives us some options about the path or direction, or those kind of options that has that which direction or which path you want to extrude. But otherwise, if we just want to create, if we have the 2D object, I will simply want to create a 3D object out of that. It's usually much easier to do it with the Presspull rather than the Extrude command. The the other difference that or not other difference, the other thing about the Presspull is that when you click on the Presspull, look at down here, and you will see it will says that select the object or bonded area. So it works for both way. And so if I go ahead and select the object, so if I bring, zoom in, if I select the object, just click somewhere on the object, and then I can bring it up or down to create a 3D shape out of that, and then again press enter to exit the command. Similarly, if I go back again and click on the Presspull, this time look at here, if I click anywhere inside that area, that bonded area, you see on down here it says select the object or bonded area. Anywhere I selected on that bonded area, do the same thing, at least for this case. So even if I click on the bonded area, it's going to do the same thing as well. So either I can select the object itself, somewhere click on somewhere on the object to create a 3D shape out of that, or I can click somewhere that is bounded by that object. For this very simple case, you will see it might not seem that much difference, but I'm gonna show you how it can be the difference in case that we have, let me draw a circle here. Assume I'm gonna draw a circle from here to here. So look at here. Now I have this rectangle, I have this circle. Now if I go and press the Presspull and select the object, if I select the rectangle, it's gonna raise that rectangle up here. And create that. So Control Z. Let me rotate it so you can see it a little bit better. So similarly, if I go and select the Presspull and select that circle, it's going to create a cylinder for me. Press enter to exit. Now look at, so up to this point I select an object. So I either, when I click the Presspull, I either click on this rectangle or I click on this circle. Now look at if I click on the bonded area. So if I come here and click on that bonded area, look at here, and then I move it, so this is what's going to create. And then press enter to exit. So if you look at here, you'll see it if there's a bonded area, so it's gonna only extend that bonded area to the 3D domain rather than the entire object. So the same thing here, if I click on that extrude and I move it here, that sector I have here on that area, if I click on that area, it's only gonna extrude that area for me, and then press enter to exit. Or the same here, if I choose that part of that circle, again, if I click on the extrude, come here and select this, and then extrude it, you will see it's gonna extrude that area, and then press enter to exit. So this is how it can be different between you select an object itself to extrude, or select and I would say the bonded area to extrude, or you can select a combination of that. So for example, here I can for example come here and select the this, and I said assume I want to extrude this, select that, and then without exiting select this, and then for example move it down there and then press enter to exit. So you can play with that in different way that is gonna create whatever shape you want to create. There is So there's also one other difference that I would say that there here. Let me delete this one and let me go through top view and let me draw. Um, yeah, so go here, or let me even draw a polyline, but open polyline. So I go from here, then I come here, and then I come here, and then enter. So now let me go back to. So here I have two. I mean, at least I have one full rectangle like that, and then I have the polyline that's gonna create a rectangle, or here as a square, with this shared edge here. So one of them has all four edges, one of them has only three edges, and the fourth edge is shared with the one next to that. Now if I go ahead and again, let's look at what the extrude do, and we probably know. So if I select the first one and extrude it, it's gonna create the 3D object like that. So let me rotate it. And now if I select the second one, which is a three line, so it's a polyline that creates with three line, and the fourth edge is shared with the previous one. If I click on that and select this one and press enter, you will see it's gonna create the shell for us as I expected. So let me just change that to show the edges as well. So you can see it create a shell here, and it's create a full object from the closed one. Now let me go back. So this time I'm gonna use the Presspull to see what happens. So if I click on the Presspull and I click here, either click on the object or on the area, is gonna create the 3D, the solid 3D object for me. Now if I go ahead and click on this one, again let me change it to that so you can see it. If I click on, again choose the Presspull, and I come here and click on that area, because that area is closed, although one edge is shared with the neighbor drawing, it's still, because that's the closed area, is going to create a solid object out of that for me. So so different with that is that if even if that object, that drawing itself is not closed, so if I go go back, you will see that this drawing object itself is not closed, but it's closed by sharing the edge with the neighboring drawing. Still, because it's formed a bonded area, it's show the bonded so it's closed area. Still you can create a 3D solid 3D object from that, but in the Presspull you cannot, as gonna create a, as you see, create a shell um, for you. Also, if you for example here, let me go back here. If I delete this one, the other thing is that, assume I have this rectangle, I'm gonna use the Presspull to create a create a 3D object. So I'm come here and create a 3D object here, and it's created, and then press enter to exit. Now that I create this, I can press pull from any of these newly created surface as well. So I can come here and, for example, say Presspull and select this surface, for example, here, and then Presspull it to here, and then, for example, again, and press enter to exit. Again, I can come here, select the Presspull, and, for example, select this top Presspull here and Presspull it up to here. So even after you do the Presspull, still you can use the Presspull command to press pull it from any newly created surface.